I've had to switch Wi-Fi. Hopefully, I didn't lose everybody. I know I lost a few there. And hey, Jason, glad to see you in there. Maybe I can get some of the other guys in. I got one, two here. I got two on. Get a few more. Oh, I'm hanging in there, getting over the sale and everything, and trying to get things going again. And like I was saying on my title, I have been bugged to death today by, hey, Chris, sorry about my Wi-Fi problems a while ago. I had to switch from my AT&T back to my Verizon. I got that, and I got Uverse too. My Uverse is terrible. And I just got a telemarketer calling me about changing that too. So that's sort of the, they're everywhere. And the big thing that bothers me out there is they're spoofing so many numbers. I get people that health insurance calls all the time. Well, it's sort of funny. Today, I got the IRS that was threatening to come get me. And I always love those. I go, hey, come get me. I said, I got friends at the sheriff's department. Tell them to come get me, pick me up. So I get those. I got the, I've had 3 today telling me that my warranty on my vehicle is about to run out. And you ask them, you say, well, which vehicle? They go, the one that's about to run out. And I go, well, which one? Tell me which one's running out. They don't know. And well, the AARP is the only one that I need, JC. Yeah, AARP, I've been a member, and I actually use that one. So y'all guys are just getting close to that. I've been a member of AARP for 15 years. So that us old guys, we need that. Now I hadn't had them call me from Publishers Clearinghouse saying I've won yet. But I'll take it if they'll bring the great big check. I'll be glad to take it. But I don't know. It's just one of those days that it seems to be that they have just come out of the woodwork calling me today. I mean, every time I turn around. And the one thing, and I know y'all guys probably agree with this, they're spoofing everybody's numbers. In other words, they spoof somebody local, and they've actually spoofed people and businesses that I know. And you think, I had one of my friends' numbers pop up one day, and I said, hey, Jimmy, what you doing? And he goes, this is so-and-so from, I said, no, it came up that you were Jimmy Smith, so-and-so, I said, I know this person, and that's his number. And they click, they hung up right away because they knew that I knew that they were spoofing a real person's number and all that. Hey, Doug, glad to see Doug's in there. Chris, Jason. JC, did you? I clicked on you, and you were about to fuss about some engines, Jasper engines, and I clicked back, and it was gone. They called you about warranty. Yeah, I can see them giving you warranty on your Ford trucks, JC. Yeah, you could tell them which one. You could say, well, would you warranty this one because I just switched the motor to transmission and I made this one from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive and I took this cab off of this one and put it over here. They couldn't chase down the parts, could they, JC? Yeah, you could drive the warranty people crazy. That's it's funny, but I know everybody gets them, but this day in particular had to be one of the worst that's hit my cell phones. I mean, I can look. I'm going to count them here just to give you an idea. Let me go back over here to my missed calls. And I mean, I just, thank goodness I got a Google Pixel phone that will actually block some of these. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's that one they spooked out of Mount Holly. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've had 15 telemarketing calls today. It's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah, the one student, yeah, I actually got one of those the other day too. Said, "Oh, we can relieve your student loan," and I just went ahead and clicked through it, and I said, "So y'all pay off my student loan?" They said, "Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Jones. We'll be glad to help you get rearrange it." I said, "Well, good." I said, "I'm 67 years old. You would have thought by now I'd had that sucker paid off, wouldn't you?" And they go, click. Yo, me. Yeah, I tell you what, yeah, and my phones are my lifeline. I mean, I carry 4 cell phones with me. Here's 3 of them. I have to carry 4 cell phones with my businesses all the time. So and especially last night, I had a situation where we had a breakdown about 1 o'clock this morning on one of the trucks. Air compressor, the unload valve on the backside of the air compressor went out, and that made it so our secondary air wouldn't work good on the trailer. So I had a breakdown, and we couldn't get it fixed. We could bobtail it back in, which we did, but getting between that and dispatch and all the different people I had to get involved with that, I had 2 or 3 phones that I was yelling into this morning about 1 o'clock. So it can be a mess out there. But yeah, it just really bothers you with, especially, I mean, I can understand. I mean, I'm a phone person. I have a lot of phones. I talk a lot on the phone. But somebody like JC, who is working underneath the vehicle, and if somebody calls him, they better be, I will say, dang well better be needing JC, I would imagine, or he's going to be ticked at them, because you can't stop and still do your business if you have to answer the phone. Oh, paper carpet cleaning on, getting quotes on every room. He probably figured you out, did he? Oh, me. Yeah. Yeah, I did one similar to that recently too. Now, no offense to the people that live in mobile homes or anything, but you know that most of them, they want to try to sell you stuff. And I had somebody, and they was trying to sell me something, and they said, "Do you own your home?" I said, "Shoot, yeah." I said about another 10 more payments, and I'll have this mobile home paid off. I said, "We're going to take the wheels out from under it then." And they go, click. So, you get into that, but it's, sometimes you just you gotta play with them. And the ones from India, and I had one last night. It just drove me crazy that last night I had a breakdown, and Amazon, in their wisdom, on the weekends, they decide that they're going to let everybody off. I guess it's in breakdown control or whatever. And I got Doug from Pakistan or something, or Leroy from Pakistan. I don't know what it was, but it was terrible trying to communicate. But I had to communicate with him because we needed his services. And then he throws me on hold for 15 minutes and then hangs up on me, and I had to call back, and just a nightmare sometimes with stuff like that. No, we don't mind talking to Miss JC, do we? Yeah, she's a cutie. She's a cutie behind the camera. Waterproof outfit kept calling. He let them make an appointment. Yet he lived on the 2nd floor apartment. That's pretty cool too. Oh me, that's you build it. That's a pretty good one there. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, we can do that at our condo down there, can't we? There's he said he had a waterproofing company to call, and his buddy lived on the 2nd floor of an apartment building. Told him, yeah, come on down and give him an estimate. Oh Lordy. Well, that's what you got to do. Sometimes you just have to play with them because they get ridiculous. Like I said, watch it. Don't brighten me up. No, that's fine. That's fine. My wife is over here getting ready to read the newspaper and flipped her. Do I still look just as pretty as I did, guys? I mean, I want to make sure both chins will be able to be seen here. I was trying to have it dark enough not to see all my wrinkles. I know. I'd have to have the lights out. But anyway, yeah, we have been just swamped. A little more blush on the left. Okay. All right. Yeah, Chris said I needed that on a little more on the left there. But it has just been one of those days. I mean, it's just like every other phone call has been a telemarketing call today. And I even had a salesman in from Penske today. We were going over plans on some new leases and a few things, and they were giving me their spiel. And I just flipped it on the speakerphone, let him hear it too. And that was the one. This is the government and the IRS, and we're going to be coming after you. We see that you have been delinquent on your taxes or some sort of crap like that. And they tell everybody, that the IRS will never call you. Now, they'll definitely send you a letter in the mail, and it'll be certified. I've had one or two of those before, but they will not. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, everyone I've had like that, it's got a guy with a real deep voice. This is the IRS, it sounds like, one of these big DJ voices or whatever. And that's right. When you're the busiest, that's when you get some doofus trying to call you and start something up. Yeah, we had one a while ago. What was it? The guy called, what was he calling about, Barbara? The one when we were at Lowe's.
Car warranty.
Oh, the car warranty. Yeah, that was a car warranty. Yeah. And I got and he says, oh, yeah, we sent you a letter in the mail. I said, really? Who did you send it to? Because he never knew my name. He said, well, you're at 813, blah, 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 and all that. I said, yes. I said, and who did you send it to? And and even Barbara chimed in on it too. She says, well, tell us our name then. If you know who we are and you're going to do this warranty and the way you've sent it in the mail, you've had to send it to an address. What was our name and address? And we kept going on and on with him. Finally, I just, hung up with him. But it's just such a scam. Yeah, help me clean up all the blood. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Especially if it's a carpet cleaning guy, you got, like JC said, said, yeah. Said, well, that sucker, will it clean up blood? Yeah. Come on over right now. Will you cut your truck off before you get over here? I don't want to make up any kind of racket coming in. Yeah, that's what you want to do. But yeah, that's what we've had today. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I like that. And especially, like I say, the ones from India or whatever, they'll call to you and I cannot understand them for the life of me. I wear hearing aids anyway, and I can't hear good on the phone sometimes, but they'll call me and I just start talking gibberish back to them. I go, like that. And they go, I didn't understand you. And then I go, well, no crap. I couldn't understand you either. And then they realize, and then you click. Yeah, I bet. Well, I guarantee your wife can. You don't have to worry about dirty drawers, do you? Because I guarantee she's got the stain out of everything at your house. I've seen her clean those stained carpets and everything in those trucks. She's pretty good. Would you like to send her to North Carolina? My wife would like to get some grease stains out of some stuff that I got. Yeah. You wouldn't mind. JC's wife is an expert on. You ought to see some of hers. He's shown some of the stuff that she has done, and she's great. Jason Chapman said he once took his phone outside and shot the pistol and said, "Oops, sorry, I had a salesman to show up." Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. That's. My grandpa used to have a saying similar to that, and he'd say something about. I think he had a sign out front or something in one of his businesses, and it says, "We shoot every third salesman. The other two just left." So that's sort of the same way. But better throw a clean. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, JC, did you get the 4-wheel drive finished today? That's what I want to know. I hadn't seen the part 2 that I need to see. Yeah, that's right. Dead man can't tell no lies. Uh, yeah, it's amazing that what you don't have as many. I used to get. Speaking of that, it's loading now. Okay, great. I have to look at that later. Hey, Matt, glad to see you in there. Yeah, yeah, we're ranting on the telemarketers today because I have had a slew of them, and it just drives you crazy. But you know, I just don't understand. It used to be the day I know before all the telemarketing. You can imagine that these same people, I guess, that had to make a living, you would get the door-to-door salesman. We don't get that as much as we used to, because I mean, I'll never forget the time my wife and we had just gotten married. Hadn't been married probably a good couple of months, and I got to knock on the door, and I had worked the third shift and everything else, and I was a little bit groggy anyway. Then the guy, I opened the door, and I just opened it just part way, and he said, "Hey, Mr. Jones," said, "here's your free gift." And it was one of these book salesmen. I grabbed the book, pulled it inside, slammed the door, and I said, "Thank you," and shut the door. And he kept knocking on the door. Oh, wait, let me tell you how it's free. I said, "You said it was free and you handed it to me." I said, "I got it." He said, "Well, Mr. Jones, let me explain to you why it's free." I said, "You already said it was free, didn't you?" He said, "Well, it's free if." I said, "No, that's not what you said. You handed it to me, said it was my free gift. Thank you very much. See ya." It took me forever to get that guy. Well, I finally opened up, let him have his book back and everything. Hey, Lakin, glad to see you in here. But yeah, it's funny how things have changed like that. But sometimes you gotta you gotta get the best of them if you can. But I guess all in all, the day's been pretty good. We've been real busy out at our at the Ford dealership, our new Napa place. We finished up our LED lights out there, and we got all the showroom LED lights. We're going back now into the parts room and trying to get everything. I hope everybody that saw the sort of my tour of the place liked it and everything. JC told me that his wife he'd move his wife into that kind of building if he had that up there in Ohio, and said he'd put a good kitchen. You reckon we ought to do that, Barbara? I'm not getting a good look from my wife for suggesting that, JC. You're not paying attention to me. Okay. All right. Well, what's new? I hope it's going to be good, Matt. I really do. It's got a lot of good bones to it. I mean, that building is great. I mean, it's built better probably than I would have built a new one. And it's already got, like I said, it's already got a lot of things, the drain system in the floor that we can wash all the way out to the wash pit. It's got the good steel overhead. It's got the air that's already in, off of that big 10 horsepower air compressor that goes completely through the shop. The water system the same way. We got water at each bay. A lot of different things like that would be pretty darn expensive for me to do. And it has the body shop, yeah. But the body shop's probably going to be converted for us. We're looking at, we may put 3 doors out front because we can put the one that they blocked off and took out, which went into the wash pit. We're going to probably reopen it, and we can still get trucks in there if we go ahead and take them up to 14 foot. And then over on the other side where they had a spray booth, I didn't actually show y'all that. Yeah, that's John Smith, Cox and Associate Community Building. Okay, well, move on. You go from Memphis, and he can come from Ohio. And we'll just make us one heck of a big business there, Matt. I don't know if JC would get moved down. He keeps telling me he's hung too deep up there in Ohio. But Hey, it's a Ford. It's a former Ford dealership, and he could fill it up with Fords, couldn't he? Yeah, yeah. Now, could we get you away from Memphis? Now that'd be the trick. Now, Matt. Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. We'll try to keep. Hey, we can keep. I could keep Matt busy with the Detroit engines I got in my shop right now. I got a year's worth of rebuilds in my shop right now, probably. So I wouldn't have to worry about. Oh, I had to talk to your wife. I bet y'all got a lot of family out there. You're like everybody else. Yeah, yeah. It would, but you could open up your own Ford dealership at my Ford dealership, couldn't you, JC? be right in there. But yeah, like everybody, home is home. I don't care where it is. It's yeah. Well, then I got at least a month's worth of work for you. Then, if you can end frame one in 3 days, you could end frame them quicker than I can buy the parts, can't you? Yeah. Well, get a better auction company than I had. I'm real disappointed with the auction company. I kind of was sold the bill that they were going to get it out there to a lot of different places, and I didn't see everything that they told me they were going to get it to. They got it out there, but it didn't hit the right dynamics, I guess you say. And I was very disappointed. We did okay. I mean, we got enough to justify what we did, but it could have been a lot better. And I've got another auction company that's wanting to do some stuff. I actually got rid of said 24 hours and you can do a standard 60. Good gosh, I need you out here. Show my guys how to do that. Of course, I don't have that good of, well, I do have the one guy that, because he just comes by and helps me. And he's good, but I'd love to be able to knock out a 60 series in 24-hour turn. I'd be building them right and left. I wouldn't have let so many go because I let Saturday. How many did we sell that had 60 series engines? At least 5 or 6. I had 5 or 6 trucks I sold.
Tell him to come see us on vacation.
Yeah. My wife said, Matt, you need to come to North Carolina on vacation, and we'll put you up. You can make it a working vacation, and we'll have the parts ready. And I actually got one of those. I don't know if you saw. I have one of the new motor mounts that you can mount the 60 series motor on it, and you can spin it. It's got a crank mechanism. You can crank it and turn the entire block over and upside down and everything else. I don't know. Yeah. Well, hey, you could make you some money, Matt, and we'd overhaul some 60 series engines. I wouldn't mind. I think a person could make good money remanning those engines. I have the problem I have is I found a bunch of trucks that I could reman and everything else, and then I've kind of just run out of time. And money talks. Yeah, money talks. So yeah, the rotator stand. That's what I bought. I bought one from. I can't remember the name of the company, but it's a real big stout. Now, if y'all got the rotator stands where you work, Matt, because they really are that you can be bought temporarily for a price, he said. Well,
name it.
Yeah, my wife said name it. The Cascadias. Now we're doing a bunch of the work on our Cascadias. I'm trying to get all the. Okay, yours is the OTC brand. I don't think mine's OTC on the stand. I think. Do you remember that name of that company? It wasn't OTC. It's I can't remember, but it's heavy duty. And like I said, it's got a crank, just like a landing gear crank, that you crank and turn the engine in all the different directions. Plus you can pivot it. It's got 2 or 3 different selections on it, and it depends on which selection. You can have one to tilt it and then rotate it and all kind of different things. So it's pretty nice. I hadn't used it yet. We just got it a month or two ago, and I've been so busy preparing for this auction that I hadn't even got to put one on it yet. Yeah, those Cascadias are nice trucks. Yeah, now that's what I've got. I got an adapter plate for the 60s. I don't have one for the DD15s or anything. I hadn't had a DD15 out yet, but we got two motors sitting on the floor. We got one sitting on we got one that's hanging from a gantry right now. We got back there, and then I've still got, I know of about three, and if you could rebuild a Mac, I got a Mac down there. I no sell Saturday too. So the new liners and all in frame in 23 hours. You just built a DD15 overhaul and a crankshaft out of frame. Oh, that's cool. I'll tell you what, that's doing it. You're talking about 24 hours of build time. You're not talking 24 hours. You can't work 24 hours a day. But I mean, yeah, 24 hours build time. So you want 2 12-hour days,
38 hours,
or 3 8-hour, or 3 8s 24. Yeah, that 3 days build. That's still great if you could do that. But yeah, if a person can be concentrating on it and not have to 24 working hours, yeah, that's not book hours. You're talking actual working hours too, or because you're not on flat rate on those, are you? Are you doing just booking the hours yourself, or I wonder what the flat rate is on an end frame? Probably, I bet they got 40, 50 hours on the flat rate, hadn't they? If you had to figure on doing it. Of course, I don't know. Some of them, they'd want you, of course, if you're doing it out of frame, and then have to put it back in, you had to figure that time too. Because it looks like to me, I like having them out. You can build 3 in a week if everything is right. Good gosh, that's doing it. Are you running flat rate on those things, or you buy the hour on that? That's if you're flat rate and you're building 3, because I know the flat rate it would have to be more. You'd make some good money if you did that, wouldn't you? Yeah, if you don't have to cut the block. That is efficient. Well, that's what it takes. Okay, book time's 32 on an end frame for a 60 series. Well, yeah, if you could do 3 a week, then you're gaining almost 25, 30 hours, aren't you? Yeah, that'd be making some good money. Oh, so you're getting paid by the hour in productivity. Yeah. Yeah, I've got most of mine on straight salary, and because my guys work hard for their straight salary. I make sure that they do. I've got a couple that the guys I got one guy he's just golden on the straight salary, and number 2 guy, he's pretty good too. But 3 and 4 guy, not so good. They think they're on straight time, but they think they're on the clock too, because they don't get there till the last second, and they leave as soon as the buzzer hits 5:30. They're out of there, and so it's it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it would take me a year's worth of courage to get up the courage to do it. I'm not the mechanic in the household. I'm one of these guys that I've been exposed to a lot of it. I've helped with a lot of it, but actually doing it, I'm not the mechanic, and don't want to be. I'm a good overseer, but I think it's all nuts and bolts. It is, and I'd be the nutty one in the group. But it's still you're going to see how it goes. Well, if Matt, now if you need to experiment, you just come on down. Now, like I said, if you like North Carolina, well, let's see if we can't. We'll get him some race tickets. Get him down here on race week. I'll twin turbo water pumps. Oh God, yeah. I've got some twin turbo. I'm trying to think. Did we sell all of our twin turbos? We sold one. I sold that one in that KW. I no-sold that other one, that other KW, and then Tommy's old truck up there. We sold it. I gave that one away. That was terrible, but I kept. Yeah, I sold a couple with twin turbos Saturday. I didn't sell the one with just a straight turbo. I did get rid of the 3406. I got good money out of that 3406. I was real happy with that. I had a gentleman, and we cranked it up. They liked the sound of it. They checked it over good, and that 3406 brought decent money, and it was a 95. And I mean, it sounded good. I think some of you guys may have heard that. And when I cranked it up, we were going through it, putting new batteries in and a few other things, and getting it cleaned up a little bit. But the 3406 after the sale, I actually sold that one after the sale. I had a guy that came up to me. He said, "I got a friend that wants that. Would you wait on him?" I said, "Sure, I live here." So it wasn't a major deal. But yeah, I waited around about an hour or so after the fact, and this old gentleman came down, and I liked the way he paid me. And my wife says, "Don't be saying that." He wrote a check. But my wife was over shaking her head. She said, "You don't know who hears these things," and I don't. I'm sorry, but yeah, I like being able to sell after the auction. That's right. He just flashed a few dead presidents, and I think there might have been one inventor in there. I don't know. But the all in all, I think we did some things that made it work on the auction, but it worked me to death. We were so tired. My wife and I both were so exhausted come Sunday. I mean, yeah, that you want the inventor's picture, don't you? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the guy that had the kite in the air. But anybody that is not, and I know JC probably knows this, when you go to auctions and sales like that, sometimes standing around and watching all this stuff and doing all these things you have to do there, you just literally get wore out. I do. And that's been that way for years. When I go to a sale, I have to sometimes take my chairs with me or something, because I can't walk it. I'm not a young man anymore. I can't hang like I used to. Y'all young boys, y'all can hang. It does. It wears you out. I think it does. Yep, and that's it too. You'll run into a lot of people that you know, and you want to catch up. It's something, and I like those in a way. I like going to the auctions. That's sort of like a high school reunion or a family reunion or some of these things. All your old driving buddies, or if you're a drinker, I guess your old drinking buddies, or whatever. But yeah, you can meet a lot of friends at an auction and those sort of things, and just hang out and enjoy yourself. But it will wear you down. It will wear you down in a heartbeat. And it 335, and he's your walking vault. I guess. Yeah, if he's 6'4", 335, he definitely he can keep the shade off of you, keep the shade for you, can't you, when you go to these different places? If he's that big, you can hide behind him, can't you, JC? That's like my new business partner. I don't know if some of you guys have seen the video with him. I'm training him. He's 29 years old, and he is the gas man for the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports. And he's a former Clemson football player. He's 6'7" and weighs 285. Now he's muscle. He's not fat at all. He's the big guy that grabs those 100-pound gas cans, sticks it in the snout or the hole, the fuel hole, because it's just a hole there with a flapper on it now on those things. And he sticks it in there and, 75 pounds, throws that can away, grabs another 75 pounds. And when I pick up a 5-gallon pail full of water, it gets me. And those things are, I think it's 13 gallons. But yeah. Yeah. I still like a good steak dinner myself. But yeah, it's good to have a couple of friends that big. I had one driver that another big boy from up in the mountains that went to work for me a few years ago, and his best buddy is the guy that brought him down there. And when he came through the gate at FedEx, I couldn't believe. I said, "Is he on stilts or is not JC? What RJ? Yeah, I'm about to get RJ. The other boy's name is RJ that works for me. RJ's about 5'6". Well, his buddy, 6'10", and weighed 385, I believe, but 6'10". Now he was a big mountain boy, and I could not believe how big he was. I mean, and when I brought him into the office down there at FedEx, the people were just kind of, yeah. I said, "Yes, sir, boys." I said, "I'm hiring by the pound right now and the inch," because he was a big one. He lived up in North Wilkesboro, but not North Wilkesboro. He lived up at right across from it. What's that little town? Dobson, up there in the Dobson area, up there near where Andy Griffith. If y'all ever heard of the Mount Pilot and all up in there, he lived up in that area, up there near Mount Airy. He lived at Dobson, which is a town just a few miles from Mount Airy. But he was a big old boy, and was Joey. I can't remember his last name, but Joey was his name. But he was 6'10", and yeah, Wilkesboro, cornbread, fed boys up there. Oh, you ain't kidding. Now see, that's where Landon's from Wilkesboro. The other boy I was talking about that works for Hendrick Motorsports. Now he's from Wilkesboro. He was raised up there, and his dad was on the 1981 or 82 national championship team of Clemson as a lineman. And then about 25, 30 years later, Landon's on, he didn't make the national championship team, but he played, I think 2011's when he graduated from Clemson, but he was a lineman at Clemson too. So big old boys. Yeah. Them old Wilkesboro boys, North Wilkesboro. I've hired a couple of guys from up that area that work out of Greensboro for me, and some down in Charlotte, but there's some big old mountain boys up there. I guess that's the only way they can grow them big enough up there to do all that work and stuff. But yeah, they're cornbread fed for sure, and all that. Well, guys, I have really enjoyed talking to everybody tonight, but I'm getting the word from the wife that I better hush and get off and get around other things to start talking with stuff. I enjoy a unfettered conversation with everybody, and no drama. I don't want a drama. The only drama is drama with these telemarketers, but I think y'all can handle that. But y'all take care, and I'll talk to y'all another night. All right. JC said, Miss Barbara, he said, hey. We'll see you. All right. Y'all take care, guys. See you, Chris. See you, JC, Matt, all the rest of you. And I'll catch y'all later.